Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, lots to get into on today's episode of the Chiefs Report. But first, if you haven't subscribed already, why don't you go ahead and do so? The season is just around the corner. Lots of news about the cancellation of the preseason we got to get into in just a few moments. But hit that red subscribe button. No one's going to keep you more up to date on the Kansas City Chiefs than I will here on the Chiefs Report. So go ahead and subscribe today. Let's get to 6,000 subs as soon as possible. And with that being said, let's get into the latest news and rumors surrounding the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have agreed to terms with all 6 of their rookie draft picks, including Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's the only one who is actually signed as we film this video. But all 6 have verbally agreed. Edwards-Helaire has agreed to terms from a written standpoint. Don't have those contract details just yet, but I'll update you guys on the channel, the community post, so keep up to tabs on that as well. Chiefs had just over $6 million to draft their rookie draft picks, but that's plenty because they didn't have any high first-round picks or anything like that. So that will be more than enough to secure their rookies. Obviously, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the one who comes in with the most expectations. You spend a first-round pick on a running back, you're expecting big things. Now, he's not going to come in here and rush for 1,400 yards because the Chiefs aren't going to run the football that much. I think his biggest impact will be in the passing game, which we saw a little bit of that at LSU when he was catching 55 balls from Joe Burrow last year en route to a national championship victory. But I think he is the RB1 for the future. He'll be obviously a big part of the rotation this year with Damian Williams and some of the other running backs. But it's good to see this get done. Rookies did report yesterday in Kansas City and in Houston because they do play on that opening Thursday night game. So the rookies were allowed to report a day earlier than other teams across the NFL. But good news for the Chiefs to get these deals done and get these players signed, although albeit these other 5 guys haven't officially signed, but they have verbally agreed to contracts. Obviously, with everything going on with COVID-19, things got delayed a little bit, but these guys are in camp. Things will get rolling in just a little bit, so it'll be exciting to see these guys get on the field for the 2020 season. Now, which rookie will have the biggest impact? I'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. It's the top one down in the comment section. You can reply right there, help support the show. Which rookie will have the biggest impact this season? Now, Chris Jones has big plans. He's probably talking a little too much. Producer Brett is not liking the attitude. Maybe a little bit of arrogance from the Kansas City Chiefs, but hey, they're defending champs and they've had the hell of it all offseason. He said, look, this is only the beginning. Has massive goals individually, says he's chasing a gold jacket, wants to be a defensive player of the year in the future. And look, let's be honest, the Chiefs are in position to contend for the next several years. Here was Chris Jones on Kansas City radio just yesterday saying, be prepared to have another parade and another parade and another parade. We're going to make sure we bring not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5+ rings to Kansas City. It's been 50 years, but the wait is over now. It's time to create a dynasty. Going a little bit LeBron there with that quote. But hey, the Chiefs and Chris Jones have good reason to be excited and confident because they kept their core together. Chris Jones got the bag, 4 years, $85 million. And if he stays healthy this year, I'm expecting a monster season from the Chiefs' young defensive tackle as he looks to, prove that he's worth that major contract. So I'm going to set the over-under at 10.5 sacks for Chris Jones this year. 15.5 a couple years ago, 9 last year, dealt with some injuries. How about 10.5? Type O for over, type U for under. Let me know. I think you can hit 11+. He did 15.5 a couple years ago. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. And now, look, I'm alluded to it. This has been a hell of an offseason. One of the best I can remember from any NFL team in recent years, especially a team coming off a Super Bowl. Typically, teams that win Super Bowls, they lose a lot of their starters because if they hit free agency, you can't bring them all back. Kendall Fuller is the only notable player this team lost. You secure Mahomes for the next decade plus. You're able to keep Sammy Watkins and Chris Jones, which I was on the record saying that's basically impossible. They found a way to do it. They drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's going to have an impact in year 1. It's been a fantastic offseason for Kansas City. Now, Patrick Mahomes, speaking of his big deal, he texted Chris Jones after he signed his new deal and before Jones got locked up and said, hey, look, man, let's get this done. I left a little bit on the table. And Chris Jones said, look, dude, you got $500 million. What do you want me to do? And they had a little exchange here, all in good fun. But, hey, it sounds weird. Mahomes probably could have gotten a little bit more. And he did mention in his press conference that, hey, a big part of me signing this longer deal is so we can keep guys like Chris Jones. That is obviously what they were able to do in Kansas City. Deal of the day here on the Chiefs Report are hats. You can get these new training camp hats as well at chatsports.com/Chiefs hats. Now, the training camp ones, these new ones, they're not on sale, but they're at a good price. Some of these other ones are on sale, though, for up to 30% off. When you go to that link, chatsports.com/Chiefs hats, I'll put it in the comments, put it in the description. We got a lot of different styles and variety for you guys. I love those training camp ones, but if you want a better deal, a better price, a lot of these different ones are up to 30% off. So go ahead, click that link down in the comments and in the description. You can shop today. Now, let's get caught up on the preseason. Obviously, it has been scrapped. The NFLPA agreed yesterday that there will not be preseason games this year. A lot of the top players were pushing for this. They, didn't think it was worth the risk due to COVID-19, and also, just that ramp-up period. You haven't had all the, on-field off-season activities, so ultimately, this ended up getting scrapped. I don't think it's a big deal for the Chiefs. Obviously, for other teams, it'll be a bigger deal. So this is kind of the training camp timeline, because now this is going to be a longer ramp-up period for training camp. So rookies reported yesterday in Kansas City, and then also took their first coronavirus test. Now, they're not testing again until Thursday, so I guess it's going to take a couple of days to get that initial test back. And then after that, they'll start testing daily. Rookies can take physicals July 24th, assuming they did pass their coronavirus test, that initial or the first two tests at least. And then veterans will report Saturday the 25th, and then they'll go through that same process. They'll get tested a second time a few days later, and then daily testing will begin for them as well. So hopefully middle of next week, actual practices at training camp will begin. Again, none of these games will happen. Preseason has been scrapped. Bengals game, Cardinals, Cowboys, Packers. Not a big deal for a team like the Chiefs, who brought back, like I said, 20 of 22 starters. Coaching staff is completely in place. I don't think that'll be that big of a deal for this group. For other teams, might be a bigger deal, but Kansas City is in a good spot regardless. But yeah, no preseason games this year. Longer, ramped up training camp period before the opener against the Houston Texans on September 10th. Now, obviously, the preseason is gone. Will the regular season start on time? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think it will. I think obviously they're limiting risk and exposure. So, you still got 6 weeks or so until the regular season kicks off. I'm pretty confident that the season will start on time. So I'm going to go ahead and type my Y. Is Patrick Mahomes underpaid? Well, when you sign a $500 million contract, it's hard to say that, but Tyreek Hill certainly thinks he is when he spoke with TMZ over the week and said, look, I thought he was worth even more. The weird truth is if Mahomes signed a bunch of short 3- and 4-year type of deals, he could have gotten more than what he got. But he said, hey, let's just do this long-term deal. I want to be a Chief for life. $500 million is more than enough, guys. He's doing just fine. Sure, maybe he could have gotten $550 million over 2 or 3 contracts, but he could have also dealt with some injuries too. You never know what would happen. So, look, obviously he's happy. The Chiefs are happy to have him long-term. Tyreek Hill is pleased to have the best quarterback in the league for the foreseeable future. So all is good there. But what do you guys think? I'll let you weigh in. Is Patrick Mahomes underpaid? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. He's not underpaid, guys. He signed the biggest contract in sports history. Could he have gotten more? Perhaps, but that does not mean he is underpaid. I'm typing my 2 for no. Here was Tyreek Hill, the TMZ, talking about some other topics as well, saying, look, I'm proud of just the Chiefs in general for getting all these deals done because they understand right now is our time. This is our window to be great for us to build that dynasty, and I'm just happy to be along with them. And that's kind of been the attitude, right? How many teams keep all of these key star players for multiple years? It's not just their window is super short. They got to win again in 2020 and things could fall apart. They've got several core players under contract through at least 2021, the next 2 years. All 10 of these players are under contract for the next 2 years, and a lot of them for longer. Obviously, Mahomes through 2031. Edwards-Helaire for the next 4 or 5 years. Tyreek Hill's got 3 more years on his deal. Hardman, Kelsey through at least 2021. And then you got several key pieces on the defense, plus Mitchell Schwartz, your right tackle, who might be the best in the league to protect Patrick Mahomes. Chris Jones got done. Frank Clark, Tyrann Mathieu, Juan Thornhill. Several other role type of players are under contract as well. Brett Veach, Andy Reid, this front office, they did a terrific job this offseason.